In 1995, the BBC brought Jane Austen's beloved novel, Pride and Prejudice, to life with a 6-part miniseries that became the definitive adaptation for a generation. With Colin Firth's smoldering Mr. Darcy and Jennifer Ehle's sharp-witted Elizabeth Bennet, the series captivated audiences and set the gold standard for period dramas. Nearly 3 decades later, the cast has taken fascinating career turns, from Hollywood stardom to acclaimed stage performances and unexpected reinventions. So let's take a nostalgic journey and see what happened to the stars of this iconic adaptation. Jennifer Ehle as Elizabeth Bennet. At just 25, Jennifer Ehle delivered a career-defining performance as Elizabeth Bennet in Pride and Prejudice in 1995, capturing Austen's heroine with intelligence, wit, and undeniable charm. Her portrayal earned widespread acclaim, instantly establishing her as a leading actress in period dramas. Post Pride and Prejudice, Ehle built an extraordinary career across stage and screen. She won 2 Tony Awards for her performances in The Real Thing in 2000 and The Coast of Utopia in 2007, solidifying her reputation in theater. Her film credits span everything from the Oscar-winning The King's Speech in 2010 to thrillers like Zero Dark 30 in 2012 and Contagion in 2011. She even made her mark in mainstream Hollywood, appearing in the 50 Shades trilogy. On television, Ehle is impressed in gripping dramas like The Looming Tower in 2016 and The Comey Rule in 2020. In 2023, she starred in Amazon Prime's Video's Dead Ringers, earning further acclaim. Now, age 55, she remains a respected presence in film and TV, often appearing in interviews and literary discussions. Though decades have passed, her poised elegance and talent remain as captivating as ever. Colin Firth as Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy. If Pride and Prejudice had a defining moment, it was Colin Firth's unforgettable turn as Mr. Darcy, especially the now iconic lake scene. At the time, Firth was already recognized among Britain's rising talents, but this role propelled him to international stardom, making him the quintessential brooding romantic lead. Following his Pride and Prejudice breakthrough, Firth swiftly transitioned to Hollywood and major British films. He delivered standout performances in The English Patient in 1996 and Shakespeare in Love in 1998, further cementing his place in period dramas. However, it was his role as Mark Darcy in Bridget Jones' Diary in 2001 and its sequels that introduced him to a new generation of fans. His comedic yet charming portrayal of Bridget's love interest created another beloved Darcy in pop culture. In the 2000s, Firth proved his versatility, balancing rom-coms like Love Actually in 2003 with intense dramas. His performance in A Single Man in 2009 earned him an Oscar nomination, but it was his masterful portrayal of King George VI in The King's Speech in 2010 that won him the Academy Award for Best Actor. From there, his career soared with roles in Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy in 2011, Kingsman: The Secret Service in 2014, and 1917 in 2019. Beyond acting, Firth co-founded Rain Dog Films, producing acclaimed projects like Loving in 2016. Now age 64, he remains a leading force in cinema, with Bridget Jones 4 set for 2025. From the brooding Mr. Darcy to a Hollywood powerhouse, his career remains as distinguished as ever. Alison Steadman as Mrs. Bennet. Alison Steadman's portrayal of the excitable and meddlesome Mrs. Bennet in Pride and Prejudice was nothing short of iconic. With her over-the-top dramatics and relentless matchmaking schemes, Steadman brought Austen's anxious mother to life, adding a perfect comedic touch to the beloved adaptation. But long before she became the ultimate Regency-era matriarch, Steadman was already an acclaimed actress in British theater and television. Her career began in the 1970s with standout roles in Mike Leigh's films Abigail's Party in 1977 and Life is Sweet in 1990, earning her a reputation as one of the UK's most talented character actresses. Post Pride and Prejudice, she continued her streak of memorable roles, starring in TV series like Fat Friends from 2000 to 2005, The Singing Detective in 1986, and Gavin and Stacey from 2007 to 2010, where she played the lovable yet eccentric Pam Shipman. Her ability to blend humor with heartfelt performances has made her a staple in British television. Even in her later years, Stedman has remained a force in the industry. She took on diverse roles in Hold the Sunset from 2018 to 2019, alongside John Cleese, the BBC drama Life in 2020, and the touching road trip film 23 Walks in 2020. At 77, she continues to appear in interviews, lending her voice to radio dramas, and even starring in Rivals, an upcoming drama set to premiere. Benjamin Whitrow as Mr. Bennet. Benjamin Whitrow's portrayal of Mr. Bennet in Pride and Prejudice was nothing short of masterful. With his dry wit, quiet wisdom, and enduring patience amidst Mrs. Bennet's hysteria, he became one of the most beloved iterations of the Austen patriarch. His performance was so well received that it earned him a BAFTA TV Award nomination for Best Actor, an impressive feat for a role that required subtle humor and measured restraint. Before stepping into Mr. Bennet's shoes, Whitrow had already built a strong career in British theatre and television. He served in the King's Dragoon Guards before joining the Royal Shakespeare Company in 1981, solidifying his reputation as a serious stage actor. On TV, he appeared in The Sweeney, the sketch comedy A Bit of Fry and Laurie, and the political sitcom The New Statesman, where he played the cunning Paddy O'Rourke. Post Pride and Prejudice, Whitrow continued to shine in both live-action and voice roles. In 2000, he charmed audiences as Fowler, the grumpy yet lovable old rooster in Chicken Run, proving his talent for voice acting. He also lent his voice to BBC Radio 4, playing the late poet laureate Sir John Betjeman in 2 radio plays. Sadly, his final work, Mr. Betjeman Regrets, was left unfinished due to his passing in 2017. Susanna Harker as Jane Bennet. With her serene beauty and gentle demeanor, Susanna Harker was the perfect Jane Bennet in this miniseries. As the eldest of Bennet sisters, Jane was known for her kindness, grace, and unwavering belief in the goodness of others. Harker's portrayal brought warmth and depth to the character, making her performance one of the most memorable in the beloved adaptation. But her career didn't begin or end there. Before Pride and Prejudice, Harker had already made a name for herself in British television. She starred in Chancer from 1990 to 1991 alongside Clive Owen and delivered a gripping performance as journalist Maddie Storin in the original House of Cards. She also portrayed Dinah Morris in the 1991 adaptation of Adam Bede, showcasing her ability to bring classic literary characters to life. After a role as Jane Bennet, Harker continued to shine on both screen and stage. She starred in Heat of the Sun in 1998 and lent her voice to Doctor Who Shada in 2003. On stage, she received praise for performance in On the Shore of the Wild World in 2005 and Jingo in 2008, where critics lauded her beautifully crisp acting. She later returned to the spotlight in productions like Abigail's Party in 2012 and The Vortex in 2014. Harker has also been active in radio drama, featuring in Ibsen's John Gabriel Borkman in 2015 and Bard in 2021. Now, 59, she remains a respected figure in British theatre and continues to leave her mark in the industry. Julia Sawalha as Lydia Bennet. Lydia Bennet was the wild child of Pride and Prejudice, flirtatious, reckless, and utterly oblivious to the consequences of her actions. Julia Sawalha brought Lydia's energy to life with a performance that was as entertaining as it was exasperating. But for Sawalha, Pride and Prejudice was just one of many iconic roles in a career spanning decades. Before stepping into Lydia's shoes, Sawalha was already a household name. She won over audiences as Linda Day in Press Gang and as Hannah Greyshot in Second Thoughts. But her biggest claim to fame came just 3 years before Pride and Prejudice, playing the ever-exasperated Saffron or Saffy Monsoon in the hit BBC sitcom Absolutely Fabulous. As the sensible daughter of the outrageous Adina, played by Jennifer Saunders, Sawalha's straight-faced comedic timing made her unforgettable. After Pride and Prejudice, she continued her success with roles in Faith in the Future from 1995 to 1998, Jonathan Creek from 2001 to 2004, and Lark Rise to Candleford from 2008 to 2011. She also had a successful voice acting career, notably voicing Ginger in Chicken Run in the year 2000. However, in 2020 she made headlines when she revealed Aardman Animations had recast her role for the sequel, much to her disappointment. More recently, Sawalha surprised fans by appearing as Bubble Tea in The Masked Singer UK, proving she still loves the spotlight. Now, 56, she often appears in morning shows and interviews, reflecting on her incredible career and the roles that made her a British television icon. Polly Maberly as Kitty Bennet. As Kitty Bennet, Polly Maberly brought to life the giggling, easily influenced younger sister who followed Lydia's every move. At just 20 years old in Pride and Prejudice, Maberly perfectly captured Kitty's blend of youthful naivete and longing for excitement. Though often overshadowed by her more dramatic sister, Kitty was an essential part of the Bennet family dynamic, adding charm and humor to the beloved adaptation. Even before stepping into the world of Jane Austen, Maberly had already been acting. She made her screen debut as Lynette Oldknow in The Children of Green Knowe in 1986, and later appeared in the sitcom 2.4 Children in 1992. However, it was Pride and Prejudice that truly introduced her to a wider audience. Following the success of the miniseries, Maberly continued to build her television career. She guest starred in the crime dramas Midsummer Murders and The Bill before landing a recurring role as Dr. Lucy Klein in The Royal in 2003. She remained active in British television with roles in Holby Hill, Boyle's War, and Harley Street. Her most notable role in recent years was as Ellie Kent in EastEnders from 2017 to 2018, a significant shift from her earlier period dramas. She also returned to Doctors in 2022 as Charlotte Sims, continuing her legacy in British television. Now 49, Maberly may not be as frequently in the public eye as some of her Pride and Prejudice co-stars, but she remains a respected figure in the industry. Lucy Robinson as Louisa Hurst. In Pride and Prejudice, Lucy Robinson portrayed Louisa Hurst, the sharp-tongued and somewhat dismissive elder sister of Caroline Bingley. At 29 years old, Robinson perfectly embodied Louisa's aristocratic air, reinforcing the Bingley siblings' snobbish attitude toward the Bennets. Though her role was smaller compared to others, her performance added to the intricate social dynamics of the series, making Louisa a memorable character in the world of Jane Austen adaptations. Beyond Pride and Prejudice, Robinson established herself as a versatile actress across British television. She played Mayoress Christabel Wickham in The Thin Blue Line in 1996, and Mrs. Elton in the TV adaptation of Emma in 1996, another classic Austen role. She later appeared in Doctor Who as Fran Clovis in the episode New Earth and had a recurring role as Pam Draper in Suburban Shootout. One of her most recognizable roles was Robin Duff in Cold Feet, where she remained a cast member for multiple seasons, spanning the show's 5th to 9th series. Robinson also played Harriet Burgess in EastEnders, made an appearance in The IT Crowd, and took on roles in Lewis in 2005 and Doc Martin. In more recent years, she starred in London Kills in 2019 and Ridley in 2022. Robinson's film career includes roles in Bridget Jones' The Edge of Reason in 2004 as Janny, and The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel in 2011 as Judith. She also made a name for herself in theater, notably playing a younger version of Queen Elizabeth II in Handbagged in 2014. As a voice actor, she lent her voice to Lydia Gwilt in Armadale. Now 58, Robinson continues to balance television, film, theater, and voice acting, proving that her career has flourished well beyond Pride and Prejudice. Though Louisa Hurst may have faded into the background in the 1995 adaptation, Robinson's career has been anything but reserved. Adrian Lucas as George Wickham. Adrian Lucas captured the charm and deceitful nature of George Wickham in the 1995 adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, making the character one of the most memorable and controversial figures in Jane Austen's world. At 41 years old during filming, Lucas brought a nuanced portrayal of Wickham's beguiling demeanor, skillfully balancing his charm with a sense of manipulation, making his eventual betrayal all the more striking. His performance earned him praise and secured his place as a standout actor in the series. Lucas's career spans decades and includes a wide range of roles in television, film, and radio. Following his portrayal of Wickham, he continued to build a diverse career. He appeared in ITV's Chandler and Company in 1995 and had a recurring role as Dr. David Shearer in Peak Practice from 1997 to 1999. Lucas also made appearances in iconic British crime dramas, including The Casebook of Sherlock Holmes, Prime Suspect, and Midsummer Murders. His skillful performances on stage and in television also included notable roles in Silent Witness, Agatha Christie's Poirot, and Black Mirror. In 2013, Lucas reprised his role as Wickham in Being Mr. Wickham, a play he co-wrote, which was performed at the Jane Austen Festival in Bath, adding another layer to his connection to the Austen world. He also played recurring roles in Toast of London, Death in Paradise, and Downton Abbey, among other projects. His versatility as an actor is seen in his broad range of roles, including his portrayal of Laurence Olivier in Orson's Shadow and his portrayal of General Claude Auchinleck in SAS Rogue Heroes in 2022. Lucas is also a well-respected voice actor, having narrated numerous books, including Graham Greene's The Comedians, and appeared in BBC Radio 4 adaptations of The Pallisers. Now 67 years old, Lucas has enjoyed a long and successful career, with his portrayal of George Wickham still resonating with audiences, and his recent work in television continuing to highlight his enduring talent. David Bamber as Mr. Collins. David Bamber's portrayal of the pompous and socially awkward Mr. Collins in the 1995 Pride and Prejudice remains one of the most iconic performances in the series. At the time of filming, Bamber was 51 years old, perfectly capturing Mr. Collins' self-important demeanor, making him both comedic and cringeworthy in equal measure. His performance as the Bennet family's clergyman cousin, whose proposal to Elizabeth Bennet is both hilarious and frustrating, showcased Bamber's impeccable ability to blend humor with pathos, making Mr. Collins both pitiable and ridiculous. Bamber's career had already spanned over a decade by the time he took on this beloved role. His early work included appearances in Juliet Bravo in 1983, Crown Court in '84, and a regular role as Fred Hurley in Call Me Mr. in 1986. His versatility soon led to more prominent roles, including the Buddha of Suburbia in 1993 and The New Statesman, where he played the hilariously naive junior Treasury Minister Julian Whittaker. In addition to his television work, Bamber's stage career flourished, earning him the prestigious Laurence Olivier Award for Best Actor in 1995 for his performance in My Night with Reg, a role he reprised for its 1996 BBC adaptation. This marked a high point in his career, proving his range as an actor. Bamber's most internationally recognized role came in the HBO BBC Two series Rome from 2005 to 2007, where he portrayed the ancient Roman statesman Marcus Tullius Cicero, a far cry from the bumbling Mr. Collins, but showing his incredible range. His film career includes notable roles in Valkyrie in 2008, where he played Adolf Hitler, and Darkest Hour in 2017, where he portrayed Admiral Ramsay. He also appeared in The Hollow Crown in 2012, Borg vs. McEnroe in 2017, Peterloo in 2018, and A Very English Scandal in 2018, each time demonstrating his extraordinary ability to step into diverse roles across different genres. Bamber's voice work has been equally impressive, with roles such as Emperor Constantine in Doctor Who, The Council of Nicaea, and Jeremy Longstaff in The Way We Live Right Now in 2008. Now 78 years old, Bamber's career continues to thrive, with recent roles in The Regime in 2024 and Flesh and Blood in 2020, among others. That wraps up our look at the unforgettable cast of Pride and Prejudice 1995. What's your favorite performance from this iconic series? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite shows and characters.